Hey everyone, and this is Paco coming to you with another Ultra Magnus video. This time we have MyClone Transformers Ultra Magnus from Takara. Now this is not a transforming figure, it's an SD figure, and essentially it's a desktop buddy is what it is, and it's a fun thing to have in your collection. It's not a transforming toy. Not at all, but it's really an excellent piece to have with your Ultra Magnus collection. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the packaging first. So it says here that it's MyClone. As you can see, the MyClone figures have a hexagonal look to them even from the art itself. And we have here 6 options. No, actually more than that. Let's take a look at those later. I have them in this sheet right here. And so basically the packaging just shows you all of the different versions of MyClone you can have, and you have a barcode here and the label MyClone there. There's a little bit of a URL there if you want to visit the what MyClone figures actually look like. You can take a look at that. And let's take a look at the insert. It says here MyClone, and when you unfold it, so you have essentially what the MyClone story is, and you cannot read Japanese, but if you can, there you go. And as you can see, all the parts are removable and interchangeable. So that's the whole point of MyClone. And yeah, you have hexagonal parts. Here it looks like the basic model has a hexagonal head and hexagonal chest. But it looks like for Transformers, they are going to forgo the hexagonal head in order to have a more design accurate mold. As you can see here, there's a MyClone assortment of different characters. As you can see here, there are some tokusatsu heroes as well, and just really different kinds of characters. Now, coming around to the back, as you can see here, you have, okay, so that's Megatron and Optimus Prime fighting. MTF-001 is Optimus Prime with his blaster. MTF-002 is Megatron with his fusion cannon. And then you have MTF-003, Starscream. You have MTF-004, this character right here. And MTF-005, RC. Now, we also have MTF-006, which is Optimus Prime but in truck mode. Interestingly enough, as you can see here, the chest piece is essentially the same chest piece that you have here. So, but they perused the back section to connect a trailer to, which is fun. If I was super into Optimus Prime, I would probably hunt down those 2 figures as well. Let's take a look at Ultra Magnus himself. As you can see here, a very nice figure, close to the G1 show model, as you can see. It's a really nice figure, and you have some levels of articulation. Here on the neck, you have a swivel. Everything has a swivel, by the way. You even can turn this around. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you can. You can turn around the cannons. Shoulder articulation here, but limited in a swivel joint. And elbow articulation here in a swivel joint as well. You have waist articulation, as you can see. You have hip articulation and thigh rotation, as you can see. And well, that's about it for articulation, but all of this is really because of the MyClone technology. You can see he also has a hexagonal base here that says MyClone there, if you can see that. Now, the reason that he's able to have all those pieces of articulation is because all of these parts are essentially removable. And actually, before you try to articulate this figure to move him around, my suggestion is for you to actually separate all the parts, because some of this is painted and the paint tends to connect to each other. So if you want to articulate this figure, not just have him stand around, you're going to want to remove all of these parts so that you can essentially separate the paint, because most of it is painted. Okay, and funny enough, this Ultra Magnus, not counting the base, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 parts. And fairly easy to put back together. So as you can see, I have here the head. Putting it back on. Shoulders. Nice little Autobot symbol there. Nice little Autobot symbol there, as you can see. Put the hand back on. Oh, that's for the other shoulder. This is actually really fun. A really fun figure. I'm glad I got this. I got it for pretty cheap as well. Put those legs on. And then these trailer back pieces, or the legs, are essentially the same piece, and they have the same peg holes on each side, so either one will work. Place them there. You may notice he looks a little bare. That's because you haven't placed the plates on the sides of the legs. So do that as well. And of course, do not forget your tiny missile launchers. And there you have MyClone Ultra Magnus in all his glory. It's essentially like just a little, it's about 2 inches tall, and it's really, really adorable. Like, I'm so glad I got this figure to add to my Ultra Magnus collection. He's gonna look great like in the Ultra Magnus city modes, you know, doing a little bit of city commanding. I'm gonna put him on the stand here, and there you have MyClone Ultra Magnus. Now, I was only able to get this on the secondary market, but for you guys, if you're interested, he's probably around somewhere. And yeah, I would advise trying to hunt for this really adorable figure if you're in the market for, you know, novelty Ultra Magnus figures. Thank you for joining me for this review. This has been X Paco for X's Toy Universe.